in people's
I think
lives?
I'm a clinical psychologist.
Okay,
and
so
an
that's
educator.
kind of how you see yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lineage of great clinical psychologists. I'm not saying that I'm in that lineage, but I would say that people who are the most similar to me are people like, well, Carl Rogers might be an example.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't have the same social media platform,
Sure.
but of course no one did. But that's how I see myself intellectually, really as a psychologist, as a clinical psychologist.
Okay.
And I think that the work I'm doing on my lecture tour is a hybrid of being a professor and being a clinical psychologist.
But is it fair to say that's who you were, but you've evolved into something way bigger than just being a clinical psychologist? I think that's what Pat's kind of getting at. I mean, he's comparing you to an Aristotle of some capacity.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because my focus is still on the individual, even when I'm lecturing in front of large audiences. And I don't exactly lecture. I explore ideas in front of audiences, which is what Rogan does. And I do that even when it's a monologue. You know, and you think, well, how can you be exploring ideas with the audience when it's a monologue? And the answer is, well, you're attending to the audience. You're watching them to see if they understand and if they're nodding and what they're responding to. Like, there's a dynamism about it, but it's all focused on the individual. And there's been some unbelievably influential clinical psychologists or psychiatrists. I mean, Freud was unbelievably influential, and so was Carl Jung, and there's a half dozen of them or so. And so I see that I'm in that tradition. Now, the fact that this information now can be disseminated in audio form and video form makes the playing field radically different. And so I was also a very early adopter of those technologies. So